Welcome back to Fold in the Cheese, your recipe for fantasy football success. I am your host, Kemper Troll. We are here previewing Week 6 of the NFL fantasy football, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host, the Farva to my Thorny.
We're all in the same boat, fellas.
But our shenanigans are cheeky and fun.
Yeah, I mean, his shenanigans are cruel and tragic.
Which makes them not shenanigans at all, really.
Evil shenanigans.
I swear to God, I'll pistol whip the next guy that says shenanigans.
Hey, Farva, what's the name of that restaurant you like with all the goofy shit on the walls and the mozzarella sticks?
You mean Shenanigans? Oh! You're talking about Shenanigans, right?
Put those away!
We're talking Super Troopers. Team RamRod, Ethan Gelfand. What's happening, E?
Team RamRod? Team RamRod? I can't grow the same mustache, though, but I do love me some litre of cola. I'll tell you that much.
Liter of cola.
What a guy.
Yeah, how's it going, man?
It's going good. It's going good.
When's the last time you saw Super Troopers?
Oh, God. Probably 15-ish years ago. I mean, did you see Super Troopers 2 is the real question.
I honestly can't remember.
I did.
Which tells me I probably didn't.
I saw it.
Or it was no good.
It's kind of like, so first of all, Super Troopers was spectacular. It came out, early 2000s, like 2001 or something like that. And it's just kind of like one of these low budget movies under the radar that no one ever heard of. No one had any idea what it's about. And then you go and see and you're like, oh my gosh, that was spectacular. So quotable. Like I still use one of the same quotes like to this day. I don't, hopefully it's not one of your trivia questions, but it's the scene where, who is it? Foster is secretly dating the cop and, they have to hide it or whatever. And so they say, oh, let's meet at a bar. And so they're disguised and he's dressed up as like a bicyclist. And then she's
she said
up,
biker. Yeah, she said biker.
She's dressed up like a biker chick. And so he sees her walk in. He goes, oh, biker. I'm an idiot.
Hi. Sorry I'm late. The mayor came down today.
Biker. I'm an idiot.
Like just subtle little things like that. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, those guys were they really burst onto the scene with that movie, and I feel like it was more of a cult classic at first. Like I don't think it was like a highly acclaimed movie at first. I think I heard about it like later in college, and it had already been out, and I was kind of like, well, yeah, I remember that coming out. It looked kind of dumb. People were like, no, it's hilarious.
No, it's spectacular.
And,
but then they had a string of movies afterwards because they had it was that one where they were on it was like a resort and there was a killer. It was kind of like a spoof on Scream, but
we'll get to this later. We'll get to it later.
JK. JK.
JK. They did have some other ones. And then then Reno 911 came out, which sort of like playing off of this movie, right? It's got the same concept. Yeah, and so you're kind of like, I didn't watch that, although I did love this movie. Like, I don't know. It's very underrated. You're right. It's very underrated.
It is very underrated.
If you have not seen it, go check it out. Really funny stuff.
Do it now.
Do it now. Do it.
Anyway, can I just really quick comment on the shirt I'm currently wearing?
The hoodie you're currently wearing?
So it is actually like an Iron Man shirt.
Oh, nice. So
yes and no. So like a few years ago, it's obviously Halloween month, so you're playing up the theme a little bit here. But the family, when the kids were younger, we'd always do a family costume, right? Just always doing it. When Addison was a baby, Batman, Robin, and the Joker. Then when Brady came along, we did Moana. He was Pua. I was, so we're doing a big family theme. So that stopped about 2 years ago, or last year, because the kids we want to do our own thing. Whatever, that's fine. So the last family theme we did was Avengers. So we did all Marvel characters. So I was Iron Man, Kirsten was Black Widow, Addison was Captain Marvel, and Brady was Captain America. So planning for it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna be Iron Man. And so I started just Googling this kind of shirt. I was like, oh, that's sweet. It still had like a month or so before Halloween. I'm like, perfect timing. But I was ordering this from like some underground establishment from China and suffice it to say, this arrived in February.
Yeah. Dude, Halloween costumes are freaking notorious for that. You've got to get on that in like June. It's insane.
You got to get on it right now for next year. So anyway, so I say I didn't wear this, and it came here. It's like the shoddiest material. It's way too small. Like it's basically like a crop top.
Stand
So
up and show us your belly.
So yeah, I've essentially worn this twice. I think this is the second time I've ever worn it.
So are you wearing that over a hoodie, or it is a t-shirt with a hood?
No, it's a hoodie. It's an actual hoodie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's supposed to be like the costume. That's supposed
Well,
to be
yeah,
the
because
whole
I thought it
costume.
was sweet. Because I was like, oh, it's cheap. It's not like I'm going for a full costume. It's like just a hoodie. That's his suit. So I thought
It's just when I lift my arms up, you can see my belly button.
you can just see my stomach, my fat belly just flopping out. Just like Iron Man. just like
Iron Man. It's like the exact same.
Yeah. So anyway.
Okay. So what are you kids doing this year? Let's just go ahead and get on that. I know Halloween's a couple weeks away, but
So we were kind of going back and forth. So we might actually go back to the family theme because right now what's big in our house is Star Wars.
Same.
Well, the kids have, we just started introducing them to them. I think you've seen, your kids have seen them all, right?
We've seen all 9. Yeah.
Yeah. So wow, we're currently on our third one, but which is 6, Return of the Jedi. So Star Wars is big right now for us. So we all want to do Star Wars. So Addison wants to be Chewbacca. Brady's gonna be Baby Yoda, not of Star Wars lore by chance, but then I'll be Han and Kirsten will be Leia.
Yeah, that's hilarious. We're doing the exact same thing.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I'll be Han. Jamie wants to be Leia. Guess who? So Miles wants to be Obi-Wan, and he's got a full cape and everything. He looks awesome. He looks freaking just like him. Guess who Nora wanted to be?
R2D2.
Not that far off.
BB-8.
Darth Vader.
Yeah.
At first she wanted to be Darth Maul, and we're
wow.
"Whoa, would you keep all that?" Like first they have those like rubber masks we could put on, and I was like, "There's no way she's keeping that rubber mask on." And then we're like, "Can we paint your face red and black?" And like, no way that's happening either. And so she's like, "Okay, fine, I'll be Darth Vader." What a cool chick.
That is sweet. Kind of along the same lines, my buddy Bill Ferrara, I coach with him at Central Michigan. So he has 2 daughters, and his youngest her name is Maya. And growing up, so Bill's a big Marvel guy, big Star Wars guy, like all that kind of stuff. And so he introduced his kids to it at a young age. And his youngest, Maya, always, I know you're not a big Avengers guy, but I'm sure you know the name Thanos, maybe.
Yeah.
The big bad guy of Avengers, like killed half the universe. Anyway, as long as she was aware, she always was Thanos. She's like, I want to be Thanos. Like, he's like, I think I'm raising a supervillain, but
I'm raising a supervillain, the ultimate supervillain.
Yes.
Everyone's got their own destiny, right? And as long as you're the best of whatever you do, so be it.
More power to you, literally.
You're gonna be a villain, be a supervillain.
Yes.
So have your kids seen all the Marvel movies then? The Avengers movies?
No. My kids have only seen Iron Man. Only a couple, so not many.
But you feel like similar to Star Wars, that's like age appropriate and totally fine.
Yeah, I think that's
I know it's like kid friendly language wise and all that, but
right. I think that's what I was trying to come around to, and I think I've kind of like, okay, they're fine. I think I was being a little more conservative with all of those kind of things, and I'm like, okay, we can open this up a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, maybe that'll be our next kick then, because obviously you want to get your kids like. They get really invested when there's a whole series and a whole catalog of content that you can show them, It's like Star Wars, like there's 9 movies that are part of like the 3 trilogies, but then there's a couple other movies and there's all these series out now. So like there's plenty of content, plenty of content for us to get through.
And what's so funny is Kirsten is not a movie buff by any means. So she hasn't seen any of the Star Wars. So these are her first time viewings as well.
Oh man.
So I was like,
that is epic.
She's right on there with them. So it's kind of funny.
Okay. Yeah. Well, can't wait till we can show our kids Super Troopers.
Yes, another franchise.
Coming back around, Super Troopers franchise. Let's get into some fantasy football real quick here.
Yes, real quick.
So we got a little bit of news around the league. This is the first bye week in the NFL. So this is always exciting from a fantasy standpoint because
it's not.
You gotta move your rosters around. And when I say exciting, I mean pretty crappy.
Incredibly frustrating.
The mega buys are always the absolute worst because like half your team's on a buy. This week we've got the Lions, Texans, Raiders, and Titans. So a few fantasy relevant players. Of course, the Lions more than anybody else, but then the Raiders have got a couple. Not so much in the Titans. Maybe Dameon Pierce, Derrick Henry, the two running backs for Titans and Texans about it.
Yep.
But basically, you got to navigate this. You can't put them on like an IR slot. You just got to sit them on your bench. You don't want to drop them, obviously. So you got to find those bye week fill-ins. So hopefully the waiver show has helped you find some of those folks. It's one of the reasons we do the waivers is like, yeah, granted, these people may not be starters for your team, but you're going to need them at some point. Mm-hmm. This is that point,
It is now. It has started.
It is. The point is now.
Yes.
I've got Brandon Cooks and Amon-Ra St. Brown on my team right now, so they're both on the bye. I've got to fill in somebody, wide receiver. So
I got Jared Goff. I got Dameon Pierce. So
yeah, honestly,
the Dameon Pierce is hurting me a lot because my running backs suck right now. Besides Saquon Barkley and Pierce has been sweet. So yeah, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, I hear you. Got to make it work. Other big news: Davante Adams. I'm sure we all saw this on Monday night. We didn't mention it. So I didn't see it. I didn't see it live or whatever. But I guess at the end of the game, he shoved a camera person on the way out of the field. The guy jumped in front of him, but also you can't put your hands on somebody like that.
It's not like he was like boo and jumped like I'm in your way. It's like he's doing his job.
Scared.
He's one of these guys. You walk with him down the tunnel, and he's just like getting out in front. And Davante it was boo on that, man.
Boo on that. It sucks. He's already issued an apology. Obviously, he's going to try and get in everyone's good graces again. But I feel like the league's kind of in a tough spot here. I think they've got to punish him. Don't you think?
But I don't know. I mean, first of all, he's already getting assault charges on him. I mean, that's then on the flip side what I hate. It's like, dude, you
it's not assault. You got pushed. If you got pushed anywhere else, you would not.
It was a schoolyard shove. And yes, you fell because you had your equipment, but this is not assault. He is not aggravated. This is what I can't stand, that people are now like, oh, I got to squeeze this for every dollar I can. So do they need to punish him? No, he's already getting punished by having an assault charge brought up against him.
I know, but it's a slippery slope, though.
I mean, you can fine him. I don't think it's worth a suspension.
But finding them doesn't mean anything. The most you're going to fine a guy for doing something like this is $25,000, and Davante Adams is making $40 million a year or something crazy. So he doesn't care about that. Obviously, the image and the public image issue is a bigger deal for him. So he's going to hurt. It's going to hurt him there. But I don't know. You can't have players. The people that there's so many employees of the NFL that do video and sound and are down on the field, the reporters, all this kind of stuff.
Right.
You can't have players intentionally laying hands on him, right? And believe me, I'm not some snowflake who's you can't touch anybody. To your point, I completely agree. The guy should not be charging him with assault. This is not assault. You got pushed. Worse happens on the New York subway every single day. So come on, man, get over it. But
I guess, and maybe this is diving way too deep, but I guess let's say you suspend him for one game. Are you saying that is 1/11th of what Deshaun Watson did? Then it's a slippery slope of comparison's sake.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah. Hard to quantify sin versus sin, but I don't think it's. I wish they didn't have to do something like that, but I also think there's a chance they will because they're going to be worried that if they don't, players going to go ham later at some point,
shoving everybody.
Yeah, and then you're like, well, Davante didn't get one. You know what I mean? It's gonna be favoritism, and that's the other point is he's one of the stars, so you kind of wonder. But I don't know. Anyway, let's get to some players who are going to be on the injury report this week. So Tua has been ruled out again. And I think Teddy Bridgewater has too, actually. So
yeah,
they're gonna be rolling out with Skylar Thompson.
Yep.
Good luck. Good luck with that. Kyle Pitts returned to practice. Unfortunately, I was hoping I could just let him stay on my IR slot for a bit because I don't want to have to make that decision. Aaron Rodgers has COVID thumb. Apparently, he's got something going on with his thumb. He's a little sore, a little beat up.
I'm so done with Aaron Rodgers. Dude, I don't know. He's just so annoying to me right now.
He is the Thanos of the NFL. He's the Thanos.
He is inevitable.
Jonathan Taylor didn't practice yesterday. Culture optimistic he's going to play. I'm optimistic he's going to play. We will see. I don't know. Chris Olave, Jarvis Landry, Michael Thomas all missed practice.
Jeez.
I think Jameis is still missing practice. Taysom Hill's banged up. I mean, I don't know who's playing for the Saints anymore. They lost all their practice squad running backs. They signed someone random. Oh, Jordan Howard to the practice squad. They've got all these random players.
So I'm kind of embarrassed to admit I picked up Taysom Hill because I wasn't sure about Pat Freiermuth. I was like, so I just picked him up as a I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll have to talk about that for 3
I'm
seconds.
with you. I did the same thing in another league, though. I actually looked for him on this league because I got the Kyle Pitts situation. I was like, shoot, I'll roll with him. I don't care. Like, especially if Jameis is out. If Jameis is out, they can't just let Andy Dalton play.
If I could play Taysom Hill as a starting quarterback in my tight end slot, that could be the biggest win ever.
It's a total cheat code. And people will be going nuts if that is like allowed. That's the unfortunate thing. They don't usually change designation mid-season. So like, he's not going to lose that tight end designation. So if he really does have to start at quarterback or play as many quarterback snaps as he has, Wildcat or whatever, it's kind of a cheat code.
Excellent.
Now there are going to be weeks where he does absolutely nothing.
Oh, yeah.
So you're going to be
100%.
like, oops. But so does it really tight end.
The only reason I would be putting him in is just because of Freiermuth and if he can't go.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would not rely on him unless he starts starting a quarterback.
True. Freiermuth, speaking of which, did not practice. So
Right.
didn't practice yesterday. So that could have been just a rest day. Wednesdays, again, pretty heavy veteran rest day. But doesn't look great yet. We'll have to keep an eye on him the rest of the week. Same with Rashad Bateman, didn't practice. Jahan Dotson's already ruled out for week 6.
Man.
So, yeah, they're going to see a little bit more Diami Brown again. And then James Conner is still uncertain. Darrell Williams, I think, has been ruled out. And so the buzz is around Eno Benjamin. We talked about him on Tuesday. I think he's a good runner. I mean, I think he'd be fine if he got the starting job, and he would definitely be worth flexing.
Is he an intimidating runner?
I don't know.
T1000. Very intimidating runner.
The T1000. Does he run like a bald eagle? Wasn't that what he was? Yeah,
that was
the motions
off damn trivia question. What did he model him after? Like,
yeah, jerk. I'm gonna take it easier on you on trivia this week.
Thank God.
Yeah. Anything else to cover around the league?
I think those are the big things, man. Yeah. Wow. Big names being ruled out and hurt and limping and bye weeks. Gosh, this is where it gets nitty gritty. Like the first 5 weeks of the season, you're like, oh, this is great. This is the team I drafted. Here, they're all playing. 6 weeks in, it's just a bloodbath between buys.
And really, like from this point until the playoffs, until the fantasy playoffs, from this point on, you are scrambling.
Yep.
And
every week,
it's likely that you won't have your full roster any week.
You'll never have your full roster again. The only saving grace I have from week 6 on is that I'll have DeAndre Hopkins back. That is the only thing.
True. That's true. And honestly, for me, I'm sort of like, so how do you feel about so I guess I'm curious as a fantasy manager, but also as thinking about the NFL. Let's start with the NFL first. Do you think it's an advantage to have a middle of the season? You mentioned this before the show, like the best teams get the week 9 bye because it's middle of the season. Do you think that's what teams want? Do you think they want the mid-season bye?
I would think so, just because, especially for the better teams, it gives you that chance to get healthy and then also make that late season push, because especially teams like the Bills and the Chiefs, they're going to be going neck and neck. They're playing this week, and then, they're going to be battling for that top spot. You don't want your bye too late where you're getting so banged up. People are getting hurt. People are getting tired. Great. Week 14 rolls around. We get a rest, but then you got to get right back in the saddle for 3 final weeks. I don't know. I just think the middle is perfect just because you can see what's working, what's not. You take that break in the middle, get that break for the rest, get them healthy. And then kind of, if you need to make adjustments, go on from there, and you still have time to implement those going into the playoffs.
Yeah. I think that, I think 6 through 9 are good. The first half of the bye weeks. I wouldn't mind having 6 as an NFL team, because I think it gives you a chance to reevaluate a lot of stuff. So there's twofold. The bye is twofold. It's one, to kind of like rest your players and get them healthy again. But 2 is kind of like, some stuff's not working. What can we work on pretty heavily during the bye week and come out as a different team in the second half? And I have seen some teams, like the Titans specifically, I've mentioned this, where they can get into momentum after the bye and they get rolling, and then all of a sudden they carry that all the way into the playoffs.
Right.
To your point, I think the week 14 bye is like not ideal, because it's tough to get any momentum after that, right?
Well, I mean, you see it in college basketball, and you've seen it with some wildcard teams in the NFL, like as early as the Giants, where if you get hot in that second half of the season, watch out. Like, it doesn't matter if you're a 9-7 wildcard team, or now it'd be 10-7. Like, if you're on that hot streak, you do not want to play a team like that. And so that late bye would kill that. If you're winning like 4 or 5 in a row, week 15 bye, okay, now, and then he kind of slows you down. So yeah, I like 6 to 9 is pretty good, especially when you're talking about people with injuries. Granted, now the Lions have really just sank even further, but you talk about, do you try and make it until that early bye, sit DeAndre Swift until then, and then after that you have him the rest of the year, hopefully, so that kind of plays into it as well.
Yeah, fair. I think it's fair. What about fantasy wise? Do you intentionally find people
No.
with same bye weeks to try and stack them in fantasy? Some people try that.
I'm that jerk who during the draft, just like halfway through the draft, I'm like, oh crap, week
Half
7.
my team's on a week 7.
Team is on bye.
I don't have a running back for week 5.
But honestly, that could just be a strategy too. It's like, you know what? I'm just going to sacrifice 1 week where everyone's on bye. I'll lose that week, but then I'm set the rest of the year. So, but no, I'm bad in that sense that I don't pay attention to the buys.
I think people like in a perfect world, that's great. Your team never looks the same at the end of the season as it did after the draft. And so there's no reason to try and stack the buys like that because you're likely not even going to have the same starters by the end.
Exactly. So
I agree. I don't mind them early on, honestly. I don't want them week 14 because that's when I'm like, I've got to have a win, to get in the playoffs or whatever. And granted, you could say like every week counts, which I agree. But for whatever reason, when I'm like week 12, week 13, week 14, last thing I want to have to worry about is shoot, Christian McCaffrey's not playing this week or something.
Speaking
and he's had some late bye weeks. It's happened to me before. I'm just like, no.
Yeah, that is brutal.
Anyone else, So I kind of like them just to get them out of the way. Hurry it up.
Right. So yeah, speaking of the bye weeks, then that means we're gonna have fewer games to pick this week in our Pigskin Pick'em.
That's true. That is true.
A little update on that. So we got 4 teams in our league, in our Pigskin Pick'em leagues. And oh my goodness!
Holy cow! Look at this guy.
You are on a roll, man. Like you are literally trending up. You started so bad. Like your week 1 or 2 is not great, and then you have just shot up since that point, which is great. It's a spectacular.
They call that calibrating. They call that calibrating, right?
I continue to go like this. So
yeah,
I did my upswing, so that's good.
So
yeah, you have a two game lead over Kyle, who has a 1 game lead over Dirty Jalapeno, Leslie, and then I'm creeping back. I'm 2 behind Leslie now. Man,
it's a solid week for you. Yeah, strong week.
Solid. Yeah, weeks 3 and 4 were brutal. Were brutal.
Yeah, the double 7s that'll hurt you pretty bad.
That'll do it.
You're hanging out in the caboose. It's okay.
That's fine. Butt punt, butt fumble.
Butt fumble. That's right. You're in the butt fumble. It can happen quickly though, right? I mean, I've risen from the ashes as well. So
you have.
It can happen to anybody.
Yes, I just gotta not be too cutesy, which is what I did those 2 week span. That 2 week span.
You did. Will you get cutesy today? How about this Thursday night football game? This is the game of the season.
This is the cutest game. It's going to be
Washington Commanders travel to Chicago to take on the Bears, who have N'Keal Harry healthy. Finally, they're going to unleash their new weapon,
difference maker. Well,
who you got?
It's sad that that's actually kind of a big point. And then Jahan Dotson being down for the Commander. I mean, this is so brutal. True. I mean, for Thursday Night Football to follow up their crap fest of Colts Broncos with Commanders Bears.
So the Colts Broncos was like a game we thought would be really good, and it turned into a turd fest. This is one we feel certain is going to be a turd fest. Like it could be like a total shootout. It'd be awesome.
Yeah. So I've learned my lesson. I'm never picking the Commanders again, even if it's the Bears. So I'm going Bears.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think the Bears at home, their defense is like good enough. I think the Commanders are not.
They're just a crap show.
Listen, it's not gonna shock me if the Commanders win this game. They technically are a better team, I think, but
are they?
They suck. They just suck. Watch Justin Fields throw for 350 and 4 touchdowns tonight.
Right.
That'd be sick.
All right. So next we got the Niners traveling to Atlanta. What's gonna happen here?
Yeah, I'm feeling the Niners, man. I've been on them for a couple weeks now. Again, we've talked about Jimmy G being a steadying force, but that's just a rock solid team. That defense is so good.
Yep.
They are tied with the Bills for the fewest points allowed in the season. I'm Niners. The Falcons are pesky, and they will play tough at home, especially. But I think the Niners are a different league.
Yeah, they're coming into form. I think now that they have the steadier of the ship and Jimmy G, that they know he's the guy as opposed to Trey Lance. Is he always going to be looking over his shoulder with Jimmy there? Anyway, so I think they're going to be rounding into form. As you said, the defense is ridiculous. I mean, just watching them against the Rams and watching them last week, yikes. So Niners.
Yep. All right, this is kind of interesting. So we got Patriots going to visit the Browns and that elf on the elf on the field. What do you think here, man? This Patriots team has tricked us.
It really has. I cannot figure them out because every time, just like what is the Godfather? Like every time I'm out, they pull me back in. It's tough because I honestly expected them to do nothing against, well, not do nothing, but to lose against the Lions, that great offense going against the Patriots, who, again, didn't really do too much in the offseason to make any big changes. And obviously with Mac Jones being out and your boy Bailey Zappi in, I didn't know what to expect. And then what they did against the Lions was just great. It was great management. Ramondre looked great. Zappi looked completely competent in there. And not saying that the Lions defense is spectacular. The Browns defense is definitely a lot better than Detroit. But the Patriots defense, man, as we talked about, Bill Belichick can put out some schemes as much as it's annoying, as much like he's got that capability to do so. So you know what? I'll take the homer pick this week and just roll the dice on my Patriots.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. This Patriots team looked a lot more competent, and they're tough to predict at this point because they'll go out and just get smoked by some totally crap team. And then they'll come beat the Lions, who is I guess, a crap team, but we thought at least with like an explosive offense, right? I actually think the Browns are more balanced offense than Detroit at this point because Swift is out. And so, and they're a much better defense, certainly, as well. I'm actually going to go with the Browns at home on this one.
That's fair.
But I think it is a true toss-up, like the world says. I think this is a really tough pick. Wouldn't surprise me at all if the Patriots win. A
couple quick things about the Patriots. I saw a funny either meme or something. It's some guy who's ranking all the NFL teams, but they're just like ludicrous statements. But this one rang true. So it said the category was can beat any team, but can also lose to every team. And the Patriots are right there. Like, yep, that's about right. That sounds fair.
Yeah.
But then one, which I didn't think this was going to be a big deal, but Tyquan Thornton is officially back. So his first game was against the Lions. And I was just watching some of his highlights. Granted, he had a very quiet game, but they would just show his routes. He was consistently burning all the DBs that the Lions are throwing out. I was like, dang. So I'm hoping that maybe can get him involved. I was not a big fan of his when they drafted him so high, but a speedster like that could be interesting.
Dude, those Baylor offenses always produce some stars, man. I think they're always underrated. And I would be excited to see that too. And I tell you what, I think Zappi's a guy to sling it to him, honestly. I'm kind of excited about that. We'll see.
All right. So now we got another AFC East team going to Green Bay. Both 3-2, both green. What's going on?
Man, I would just love to just be like, Packers, easy win. But the Jets showed something last week, man. They poured it on against Miami and ended up crushing them. It was really surprising. And I don't know, the defense still isn't that great. The offense is still figuring some things out, but they've got playmakers big time.
Brees Hall.
I think that Zach Wilson will struggle in Green Bay against that Green Bay defense. But the Packers have not looked great on offense. No. And I don't know what's going to change. They've got to get A.J. Dillon more involved, obviously.
Obviously, that's the key.
I am very hesitantly taking the Packers at home on this one. And I would not be afraid to put some money on the Jets on this one.
Yeah, who would have thought this would actually be kind of a tough decision? I mean, the Packers have not looked good. The Patriots brought them to the brink. They had to beat them in overtime. Obviously, they lost to the Giants last week in London. I mean, has there been one game where you're like, yes, this is the Packers team that we all know? No, even when they beat the Bucs, that was a slugfest and that was gross. The Bucs without some weapons. I don't know. There's something off in Green Bay. I never thought I would be torn on a Jets Packers pick, but I too am hesitantly going to go with the Packers just because of Aaron Rodgers is a difference maker, and you always fall back on who's the best field general. And in this game, it's got to be him. So
you're really wishing right now that you weren't 5 points behind the lead, and you're like, I'm going Jets because, I hear you. I'm being conservative.
You should. You've got this lead. You can just throw some around. I got to play it a little safer here.
This is one though. This is a spot where you'd love to just take a wild guess, right?
If this were my week 3 guessing or week 4, I would be all over the Jets.
I know. I hear you, and it might pay out. I don't know. How about the Jags traveling to Indy?
Man, talk about reversal of fortunes. We were so high on the Jags 2 weeks ago and so down on the Colts, and now it's kind of a reversal of fortune. It sucks because I was really hoping the Jags would be in a better spot than they are right now. They're 2-3. I've been lost their last 2. Just have not looked good, and that's a bummer. It's not like the Colts are lighting everybody on fire, but they've beaten 2. Well, they beat the Chiefs, who was a great team, and then they beat the Broncos, who were supposed to be a good team, but they haven't looked great doing it. But they're showing they can win those gritty, tough games, and I think this will probably be another one. I mean, Jacksonville had a grinded out one with the Texans, and the Colts tied the Texans, so transitive property. They'll be the Jaguars. So Colts.
The Colts will win, yeah. Man, I'm really disappointed because I was really ready to jump on the hype train with the Jags. And I was
Yeah.
really hopeful that after that Chargers win in particular, I was like, all right, giddy up. I like this team. I like the young talent. I had that whole Moneyball comparison. And then they came out and just fell flat on their ass against Houston. Who, again, we keep saying this, but Houston's defense is pesky, but you shouldn't lose that game. You can't lose that game.
No.
I don't trust the Colts.
It was a trap.
It was a trap. It was a trap.
It's a trap.
I don't trust the Colts at all, but I do like what I'm seeing out of Alec Pierce. I think he's a nice addition to the offense to open things up a little bit. I need to see Pittman get going better.
Please.
And would love to see Jonathan Taylor healthy. If Taylor's not healthy, I think I still would probably go with the Jags, honestly. I don't know if he's going to be healthy or not. It seems like he's probably going to play. So in that case, I guess I'll go with the Colts, but I'm kind of holding my nose and doing it. I don't love that.
Holding my nose. All right. So yeah, two other teams that are kind of going different directions, the Vikings and the Dolphins. What you thinking?
Yeah, if this was Tua, I think I would have a really tough time with it. I'm going to have to go with the Vikings, though, because Skylar Thompson I have no faith in.
No, yeah, exactly. I mean, we saw what happened against the Jets, and the Vikings are better than the Jets. So, yeah, going Vikes here, too.
Pretty quick. How about the Bengals heading to New Orleans to take on the Saints?
I mean, again, the Saints are just so banged up. Again, if that offense was completely healthy, this is a tough game to pick. In New Orleans, as you always say, is one of the tougher places to play, and it's, again, the Bengals we can't figure them out. It's just so frustrating. So I'm just going to go with the Bengals just because they're healthier and they should be better. I'm going Bengals.
Yeah, I think the fact that the Saints may not have any of their 3-star receivers. I mean, I can't trust Traquan Smith and Juwan Johnson or whoever their tight end is, and I mean,
Penn State alum
Adam Troutman. Come on, I'm not going with those guys. I got to go to Bengals, but I'm with you. If there were even 2 of those receivers healthy, I would go with the Saints. And I mean, their defense is good. This is a battle of the Who Days, right?
That's true.
Who Dat?
Who Day will reign supreme.
We'll figure it out for real. The Bengals claim they started it, and I think they actually did. The Saints have definitely made it more famous. So
true. They're louder, and the Bengals have sucked for longer. All right, now we got the 3-2 Ravens traveling to the 4-1 NFC East second place tied Giants. I forgot about the Eagles. I was about to say first place.
You're going to say NFC East leaders. Second in the NFC. This would be a 2 seed in the NFC currently.
This is true.
This is weirdly a tough pick, I guess.
The Giants.
Logic tells me I should go with the Ravens pretty easily, right? But the Giants are finding a way to get things done. Their defense is getting better each week. Saquon is on a tear. There's no one to throw the ball to. I saw Darius Slayton making plays for the Giants. I was like, if he's their only healthy receiver, honestly, he's better than anything else they've had this year. So I don't know. They're getting it done. I do like that rookie, Daniel Bellinger. I've mentioned him a few times. He'd make some plays. He ran one in this past week. I like him. But I got to go with the Ravens, even though Bateman is questionable.
You pulled a me move where like you build up this one team.
Built them all up.
Yeah. I'm going the other.
And then I bailed. It's Lamar, man. It's Lamar. Yeah. I think ultimately he is the X factor in this entire game.
Yeah.
But another one, I wouldn't feel bad about taking money line because it's a home team as well.
And I can't correctly pick the Ravens ever this year. So last year I finally got on the right track of figuring them out. This year, I think every time I've picked or not picked them, it's been the opposite. I picked them to beat the Bills, barely lost. I picked the Bengals to beat them. They beat the Bengals. I'm going to pick them again. Going with the Ravens. Just as you said, just because of Lamar. I mean, again, you kind of go back to who's the better of the field generals, and a hindered Daniel Jones is.
You don't think Daniel Jones is as good as Lamar Jackson?
I mean, maybe if he had 2 feet, that didn't hurt, but he's only got one.
Yeah, very close. That's the only thing.
Yep. There we go. Ravens.
Okay, fine.
Bucks.
How about the Bucks?
Moving on.
Pittsburgh.
Bucks. Moving on.
Yeah, Kenny Pickett. Sorry, bro. Second game, man. He's got the Bills and the Bucks. How about that for your first 2 games?
Yeah.
All right. How about the Panthers traveling to LA to take on the Rams?
Rams. Moving on.
Yeah. This is was it PJ Walker, quarterback for the Panthers?
Yep.
That's just unfortunate. Even if they were healthy, I think I don't even know if that's true. I would have a little more question if they were all healthy, but I don't like the Rams at all this year. How about the Cardinals traveling to Seattle to take on the Seahawks?
I think you're first this time based on the birds.
You didn't even give any analysis on either of these.
Well, do you really need them? Okay,
Fine,
Bucks.
fine. I'll go first. Fine. I will go
Steelers
first.
are trash. I'm gonna go with the Bucks, and then I'll go.
Great analysis.
Panthers are
Great
trash.
analysis.
I'm gonna go.
Okay,
with the
so this one actually should be a pretty good game.
It actually should be decent.
I think I'm actually going to go with the home team. I'm going to go with the Seahawks on this one. Gino is on fire, and I'm riding Gino. I'm riding my boy Kenneth Walker III. Let's go, baby.
Yeah,
he is going to be a stud.
Man, I mean, you're not wrong. This actually is a very tough pick. I don't want to pick the Cardinals. Like, I really don't. But, and I'll show you why later, I am going with the Cardinals.
Okay, fine. DK and Tyler Lockett have both been pretty good recently.
And by the way, you gave me a little crap or trying to call me out with DK because I was saying, like, he's been like, the past 2 games, DK has been good. He's gotten about 7 or 8 catches for 90-ish to 100 and 1 touchdown. But prior, his first 2 weeks, he was only getting 30 and 40 yards. And even week 3, so we were kind of both right. We were meeting in the middle. So I'm just saying, I did a little diver on DK.
Okay, you were wrong. Here's the game of the week.
Yes. Whew.
All right. Bills traveling to Kansas City. I'll go first here, I guess.
Okay.
Man, this is the game we want. I can't believe it's 37% on the Chiefs, really. I'm a little surprised this isn't closer to 50%. I get that the Bills seem like the more dominant team just overall. The Chiefs are finding a way to get it done, though.
Yeah.
And Mahomes has got that magic in his arm again. And so it's tough to count them out. Obviously, Kelsey is unguardable. It doesn't matter if you scheme him or not.
Real quick on Travis Kelsey, I saw like a NFL meme, a fantasy one, and it said, so basically, if you don't draft Travis Kelsey as your tight end, you're basically saying, I'm okay with my tight end getting 5 points.
Yes, that's basically true.
That's it.
And you got to take him in the first round, so I don't know. One team gets an advantage and everybody else doesn't.
Yep.
I guess I'm going to stick with the Bills on this one. Again, if Kansas City, I don't know the Vegas odds on this one. If Kansas City is a home dog, though, that's another money line bet that you should just take because it's Kansas City. I mean, I think Buffalo is a better overall team. They've got better offensive weapons overall, I think. Although I think Dawson Knox is still banged up. Their defense is better by a long shot, but Kansas City's finding a way to get the W's.
Yeah. Bills are a 2.5-point favorite, which is interesting as the road team.
So the money line's probably plus 150 to 200 range, which is double, almost triple your money.
Yeah, so that's interesting. Yeah. Well, once again, Bills are looking pretty ridiculous. Their only 2 shaky ones were against the Dolphins and the Ravens, surprisingly, where they come back. But other than that, they've looked unstoppable. And I'm done picking against them. So I'm going to go with the Bills. It's going to be a great game. At least you hope so. It's going to be a rematch of, that playoff game, which was spectacular. I don't think it's going to live up to that just because that's what everyone is basically basing it out of. But yeah, I just think the Bills are a little more balanced. I know the Chiefs have put everything together and have shown, hey, we're still the team to beat in the AFC. I just give the slight edge to the Bills. This could be their year, man. This could be. Yeah,
they just look too good right now. All right, how about the boys traveling to Dallas? Cooper Rush could be his final start. He is undefeated as a Cowboys quarterback.
Not going to be his final start. He going to win that job, says Jerry. Jerry says, in Cooper, we trust.
We're going to trust the hot hand.
Right? I mean, kind of like the Giants. The Cowboys are just figuring it out. They're just figuring out how to win. They're getting it done. It's not prettiest, but it doesn't matter. A win is a win. He's getting that job done. But on the other side of the ball, like the Eagles have looked just so good. Just defensively, they're fast. They're all over the place. And then Jalen Hurts is just getting it done everywhere. If he's not throwing for a touchdown, he's running in for 2. And when he is, he's finding both A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith is blowing up. It's really awesome to see kind of what he is blossoming into. Dallas Goedert has looked really good. Miles Sanders has had such a resurgence this year. I know we kind of took a half step back last week, but it didn't matter because Jalen was running in however many. They've really kind of made the commitment to Miles Sanders, which I think is great that you kind of have that one guy that you're really going to feed. So until they can show that they're slowing down, I'm going Eagles.
Yeah, I agree with everything you just said. I think the Cowboys are getting healthier, and especially at the wide receiver room. So I'm excited to see Michael Gallup getting back into the fold. He had a 30% target share last week, which is really strong. Once he gets like fully up to speed and Dak gets back, this team will be dangerous on offense again. I think that Philly defense is so good, and that's going to be the difference maker here. The Dallas defense is also really good. This could be a low scoring game. I'm going to take the Eagles at home, but anything can happen in the NFC East, man. These teams know each other well, so
yeah, very true.
Don't be shocked. Don't be shocked
either
way.
Now we got Monday night, torn pectoral labrum.
Torn lat
that
versus bruised ribs.
Torn lat versus bruised ribs. Which injury you got?
Well, the guy who's playing better is the one with the bruised ribs. So I'm going to stick with the Chargers on this one until Denver looks good. I'm not picking them. I mean, they're going to have to play the crappiest team for me to pick them. I don't trust them at all.
I agree. I just agree with that full heart. There's no reason you should have any faith in Broncos right now until they show it, and they have not shown it. Especially with the news coming out about his injury, that just brings it down even further. So I too am going with the Chargers.
The defense has looked really good.
It has,
which is no surprise. But the offense is supposed to be really good too. The Chargers are looking a lot better. Eckler is balling out of control.
Jeez, I need him to not do that this week, though. Just saying.
It'd be tough. It's a tough matchup, but Josh Jacobs ran all over him last week. So, I don't know.
Crap.
Give me the Chargers. All right. How many points you got?
38.
Yeah, I'm thinking lower scoring as well. I didn't have a point total in mind, but I'm going to go with 40.
Okay. See? I mean, we're right there, man.
We didn't have what do we have? One different pick this time?
2.
Did you take the Cardinals?
I took the Cardinals. And
you took the Patriots.
Yeah, Cardinals and Patriots. So 2. Just,
Two
it's early. I got
different.
Singles. Got to get some singles.
You should go Commanders, man.
I went for grand slams in weeks 3 and 4, and I struck out.
You went for only grand slams, and they're like, dude, there's no one even on the bases right now. And you're like,
nope, 4 runs coming in right now.
Here we go. Commanders.
I basically pushed all my chips in before the flop. All right, they haven't even dealt the cards. It's fine.
I'm going all in. I know. I'm feeling it right now.
It's the dealer's showing 21. All in.
All in. I'm gonna also get a 21 and force overtime. All right, let's do a little trivia break. What do you say? Give us our little intro.
Time for some Super Troopers trivia.
Do I look like a cat to you, boy? Am I jumping around all nimbly-bimbly from tree to tree?
No.
Am I drinking milk from a saucer?
No.
Well, do you see me eating mice? Now, you stop laughing right now.
Yes.
Now, I'm gonna have to give you a ticket on this.
But
no buts, Meow. That's the law. Not so funny, Meow, is it? Meow.
All right. I got a few questions for you here. I'm taking it. We're back to taking it kind of easy. We're not being dicks. So we're gonna see if you can nail these questions. Great movie. It's been a while since you've seen it, so I'm keeping that in mind as well.
If the trivia questions were just say 5 quotes, done. Got it.
Yeah, I do them in my everyday life. I'm already doing it. Okay, so this is a 2-parter because I wasn't sure. I assumed you would know this, but one never knows anymore with trivia. So give me the name of the production company that makes these movies.
Yes. The comedy troupe that they are known at is Broken Lizard.
Broken Lizard. Very good. And give me 2 other movies of theirs.
Oh, God. So the one we were talking about was the one at the resort where it was a murdery-ish one. Crap. Ooh, okay. Sorry, listeners, for the random sounds.
Wow.
Ooh, I think I got it. It was Club Dread, I think, is one. Oh, you're not going to tell me yet because I have to say 2. Crap.
Yes, I do.
And there was something about a salmon. It was they were caterers, the slapping salmon or something like that. That's what I'm going to go with. Club Dread and the slapping salmon. Wait, does Super Troopers 2 count?
Super Troopers 2 would have counted, but you said slapping salmon. It's slamming salmon.
Oh, come on. Give me 3/4 of that point.
Fine, 3/4 of the point. How did you miss Beer Fest?
Oh, man. Beer Fest.
Beer Fest is arguably their second best, if not maybe even their best movie. I mean, it is
their
up there
second
with
best.
Super Troopers.
Super Troopers is better than Beer Fest, but Beer Fest, you're right. No, Beer Fest is their second best. Oh my gosh, how did I forget?
Das Boot? Come on.
Why does the last guy chug out of a shoe?
It's no shoe! It's just boot!
Das Boot. I do love Das Boot.
Beer Fest is spectacular.
Rotate the boot.
You got to rotate the boot to get the air bubble out.
Yep.
Yeah, how do you not know? They also apparently they were responsible for the Dukes of Hazzard movie with Giant.
Well, he directed it, but I don't. It wasn't like because
they all have cameos.
Did they all cameo?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. But it wasn't like a broken like Dukes of Hazzard by Broken Lizard.
So yeah, I'll give you 3/4 of a point there.
All right, sweet.
Okay, number 2. How many times?
That was on one question, so it was like Broken Lizard. And I then had to name 2 movies. Wow.
We'll give you
7/8.
We'll give you 4 out of 5, 4/5, 80%.
Okay. Fine.
How many times does Foster say meow in order to break the record?
I believe it's 10.
It is 10 times. The old record was actually 6.
And I love, but the last one, he's like holding it above the car, like
he's like, "Come on!" He just goes meow,
meow. Do I look like a cat? Do I drink milk from a saucer?
It's fantastic. What does Farva order at Dimpus Burger?
Oh God! So I already mentioned part of his order that it was a liter of cola.
The liter of cola is the best part, I think.
Yeah.
The rest is just normal food.
Liter of cola. Oh, I do remember because he always says it weird. I'm like, is he meaning to say this weird? So I believe he's trying to say like a double bacon burger, but he says like double bacon burger or something like that.
Yeah, it's a double bacon cheeseburger, which I think is like I think he says it weird like that.
Like double bacon burger.
Yep. And then he does also order a pie.
Oh, a pie.
Apple.
And
he wants a liter of cola. Gets into a whole fight. Hey, don't spit in that burger. It's for a cop.
It's for a cop. It's for a cop.
What does that mean? Was he going to spit in it or something? Tell him not to spit in it. Don't spit in that burger.
Don't spit in that guy's burger. Hey, does that look like spit to you? Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does.
Whatever.
Okay, number 4. What does the window taste like for the kid who ate all of the weed in the car?
Schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
Schnozberries. That's right. That was the layup I was going to give you. It's fantastic. These are some of the best quotes.
Yes.
And number 5, to round it out, what does Farva say he would buy if he won the money from Dimpus Burger?
Oh, yeah. Because
be as specific as you can.
Because that is like they had to peel it off the cup, but he didn't peel it off yet because, surprising, under the cup or under the peel off was that hole. So it just spilled soda all over him. Burger punks. Anyway, so I want to say it was for like $1 million or like $10 million is my guess, somewhere in there. So what would he do with the money? He was dumb because I remember the conversation he was having with Thorny. It was something about a car, but it was like a tricked out car. He's like, knowing him, he's like, probably, let's say if it was $1 million, like, I'd buy $1 million car. So I'm going to go with $1 million car.
Very close. It is a $10 million car.
Oh. $10 million car.
$10 million car. So we'll give you 4 out of 5 in total because you got partial credit on that one too.
All right, perfect. Whew. All right, those are good. I thought you were going to ask.
Well done. Other honorable mentions are, what's the name of the bar that they're not allowed to say? Hey, Barbara, what's the name of that bar we always used to go to? Oh, Shenanigans?
We're Shenanigans? Oh, the crazy shit on the wall and the mozzarella sticks. I thought you were going to ask, which I was struggling with, but then I thought of it later on. You know, the mascot on all the bags of weed. I thought you were going to ask who that was.
Jimmy Chimpo?
Johnny Chimpo.
Johnny Chimpo?
Yep.
Yeah, there's the tattoo on the dead girl.
Yep.
Johnny Chimpo tattoo. Yep. Well done. Got to give that a watch again. It's been a few years for me as well. Not 15, but it's been probably 5 to 10 range.
Nice.
Probably
Okay.
10.
There we go. Whew. Well, good questions. Those were good. Those weren't too hard, but they weren't like, some weren't too easy. I liked it.
You're in the ballpark with all of them. Nothing totally random where you're just like, I don't even remember that happening.
Yeah.
Let's get an update on our Run Your Pool fantasy league where
Yes.
you absolutely murdered last week.
Yeah,
You
I
came
needed
back with
that.
vengeance.
I needed that last week. So what? I win. It was like 179 to 96 or something. But I went heavy. Like as we were
Yeah.
making the picks, I'm like, I'm going heavy. I need to make a run, and it paid out. Leonard
Yeah.
Fournette, Derrick Henry, Travis Kelce all crushed it for me. Obviously, you got the big donuts with T. Higgins, so that didn't help you.
Did not help me.
And Damian Harris getting hurt. So
Damian Harris got hurt. That killed me too. But I wasn't going to make up 79 points out of that, but probably would have been respectable.
So now I'm only down by in the 30ish range, which I will take.
Yeah. Yeah.
But as I was making my picks this week, I'm like, ugh, I'm already running out of people to
put between the bye weeks and then you've got bye weeks and you got players you've already used. You can't use them again. This is what I'm telling you is tough. When I did it before on Bleacher Report, it was one of each position, and that was a lot easier to do.
We got
you got to play like 2 running backs, 2 receivers, and a flex on this thing. Like that, you're going to run through. We're going to see when we get to like week 16, we're going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm starting
myself.
Jahan Dotson is one of my receivers,
which
is like totally fine, but like, no, you used him in week 13. He's already gone.
Yeah.
Crap. All right. So give me your quarterback. Who are you going with this week?
All right. So I hinted on it in Pigskin Pick'em why I went with the Cardinals, going Kyler Murray.
That's fine because I'm going opposite side of the ball. Geno Smith. Let's ride. Come on, Geno.
Is that why you picked the Seahawks?
One of the reasons. Yeah. I had to genuinely think, is Geno going to be a top 18 quarterback? And if I'm only using 18 quarterbacks all year, am I really going to use Geno Smith? And I decided,
yes, I am.
I'm going to do it.
All right. Well, I just think it's a good matchup for both quarterbacks because they've both been they have the ability to score a lot of points, but they've also give up a lot of points. So,
yep.
All right.
Running back.
This one I just kind of vomited in my mouth when I did it. I was like, oh. Cam Akers.
Oh God, really?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow, I am shocked by that.
So
he has done nothing all season, and you have been off on him. If anybody was going to do that, I would have thought it would be me. But
all right, I figure let's get him out of the way now because again, 36 running backs, going for it.
Okay, I'm going Melvin Gordon. Revenge game against the Chargers. He gets 2 of these every year, so it's not really that exciting. But yeah, go Melvin Gordon. Now he's got the workload to himself. Hopefully. We'll see.
For my second running back, I went with Ramondre Stevenson because he's now the lead guy in New England for a few weeks. So I figure ride him while you can.
Same here. I'm doing the same thing. Ramondre.
Damn it. Okay. Wide receiver 1 going big, averaging 20 points a game. Jacoby Myers. He's played one game.
Oh, dang.
He's played one game.
Okay. Bailey Zappi.
Yeah. I mean, see, they got that connection, man. So
they're making it work.
Yeah. Figure why not?
I'm going Chris Godwin this week. I think he's going to have a big game for the Bucks.
Second wide receiver. I might regret using him now, but Justin Jefferson.
Ooh, that's heavy.
Yeah, I went ahead.
I'm going just as heavy because this is my Cooper Cup week.
Oh, Cooper Cup week.
Let's go. Come on, Cooper Cup.
My Cooper Cup week did not pan out that great. Like he was okay. I think I got like 16, 17 points, but not
probably his worst week all year. Yeah,
30 against you when I would play him.
Yeah, that's probably his worst week all year. 16.
All right. Well, you got your boy Geno. I hope he's going to throw to this tight end, Will Dissly.
Nice.
I followed Travis Kelce up with Will Dissly.
Will Dissly. Okay. I'm gonna give it a run on George Kittle this week.
Okay.
See if this is the week for some magic. It's a good matchup for him, and he's gotta break out at some point, right?
You figure he should. I'm just riding the Patriots train, man. Nick Folk, kicker. Watch out.
I'm going Ryan Suckup of the Bucks.
Suck it up. And then for my flex, I'm going with your boy, Christian Kirk.
Nice. Tough matchup with the Colts. Yeah. Colts secondary is really good. But I'm going to go with Gabe Davis. 4 more touchdowns this week against the Chiefs. Let's ride. It's going to happen. Repeat.
That would be amazing if that
if it doesn't happen. I'm just taking a stat line from the playoff game.
From last year. I wouldn't even be mad if he got 4 touchdowns. I'm like, you know what? That's fine. That's
should have seen it coming. Yeah.
Right. Defense, I'm going Bucks.
I'm going Rams against PJ Walker. Let's go. Let's go. He's an interception machine.
Yes,
Panthers are going to be pathetic.
Oh man. Okay. Whew. I like interesting lineups on both cards. Yeah, I vomited when I did Cam Akers, but I'm like, whatever, it's fine.
Panthers are pretty junk. So yeah, this is where I start getting to a mixed bag. So I'm going to say like stars and scrubs kind of lineup. Yep. I got Geno, Melvin Gordon, Ramondre Stevenson, Chris Godwin, Cooper Kupp, and Gabe Davis. Travis Kelce. Not Travis Kelce. George Kittle. I've already used Kelce. Ryan Suckup, and the Rams defense.
And I got Kyler Murray, Cam Akers, Ramondre Stevenson, Jacoby Myers, Justin Jefferson, Christian Kirk, Will Dissly, Nick Folk, and the Buccaneers defense.
Rock on. Let's see what happens. I got a really dumb do-it bet of the week for us.
Love it. Do I need to get the wheel of names out for a draft or no?
Maybe. We can decide real quick. So it's either Geno versus Kyler, which I would feel like I don't want to do. We are really dumb bet on my part, but I kind of think it would be fun.
You always do.
Or we draft.
I don't want to do it, but I will.
Or we draft that game, and just take like one QB, one receiver, one running back, or something like that.
I say we just do straight up Kyler, Geno. I feel like something.
Of course you would. Of course you'd say that.
Well, no. Well, let me think. The only bad part is like the running backs. It's obviously Kenneth Walker. And then, like, for the Cardinals, like, is it James Conner?
I think it'd be but I don't know. Fine. Geno versus
Geno versus so would you do, like, you're saying two players, or would you saying one position player from, like, on your team?
We could do either
way.
If
it's just two players, I'm good with just two players. If it's three,
Okay. Your call.
I'll do two players. Let's draft two players.
Two players from this game.
Okay. Let me bust out the wheel of names.
Okay.
You talk while I find the wheel of names.
All right. So now we got to think about the strategy. Do you go with, do you just go quarterback because there's most likely to get the most points? If you do, which one do you take? Which receivers are going to have the biggest games here? Obviously, Hollywood's going to be big for Arizona. Oh, sure. Did you already spend it and you landed on you?
No. I don't even know if I want the first pick. And you're red, I'm blue. Bam. Wheel of names. Wheel of names.
I was blue last time. This is garbage. Look at it. It's going to leak right over to you. Yep.
Ethan.
You jerk.
Yay. So I get the first and fourth pick. You get 2 and 3. Fine. I will take Kyler.
Yep. Okay. I will take, I'm just going to roll with Geno and.
Which one are you going to go for?
Got so many options here. Why not? I'm just going to go Geno and DK.
Okay. I mean, the smart move for me would be to go Hollywood. That would be the smart move.
I mean, that way we're both like Geno, DK, Hollywood, and Kyler.
But I kind of want to go Kenneth Walker.
Make a pick. Do it.
You know what? Screw it. Kenneth Walker.
Oh, boo. Fine. I say Geno Smith and DK Metcalf have more fantasy points this week than Kyler Murray and Kenneth Walker. Do it.
You know what? No, I got to stay consistent to my Cardinals pick. So I say Kyler Murray. So redo yours. I'm going to go.
Wow.
This
is freaking amateur hour.
You're amateur.
I say Geno Smith and DK Metcalf have more fantasy points than Kyler Murray and AJ Green. Do it.
AJ Green. Damn it. I got locked into AJ Green.
You just stick with the Cardinals.
Son of a gun. All right. Well, I say Kyler Murray and AJ Green / Hollywood Brown, which honestly, you should just give me AJ Green too.
AJ Green's a freebie.
He is free. We'll have more points than Geno Smith and DK Metcalf. Do it.
Yeah, I get Dwayne Eskridge as a freebie as well.
Fair. You get fine. You know what? That's fine. You can have Dwayne Eskridge and I'll get AJ Green.
I don't think he's even on the team. I don't even know if he's playing in the NFL. I have no idea. Damn. Let's keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
Very simple. Geno and DK, Hollywood and Kyler.
There it is. Done.
Do it.
Woo. All right, man. Well, I'm pumped for that Bills-Chiefs game. I really hope it kind of lives up to the expectations. I don't know if it will, but these are obviously the two generational quarterbacks we have right now, and it's going to be fun to see them kind of sling it.
I'm with you, man. I can't wait.
Can't wait. But until tonight, though, biggest game of the week. Chargers, Commanders, Bears. Get ready. Bears beat Battlestar Galactica. As always, keep on folding.
Fold it.